if you were to ask me about this next guy, I suppose we could say Sway Calloway is an American journalist, radio personality, executive producer, DJ, former rapper, formerly people just know him as Sway, right? But if you were to ask me about this guy, this is a guy, when I first got to MTV, they're just like, yo, there's two people you need to watch. Trevor Nelson, Sway Calloway.
Yeah.
And then the first time I ever heard like Eminem freestyle back in 1999 was on this guy's show.
Wow.
The last interview Tupac actually gave on radio, this guy's show. I think the last interview Biggie gave as well on radio, this guy's show.
Yeah.
A legend, for sure, no two ways about it.
Yeah.
An OG, a mentor. Thank you very much for joining us. Good morning.
That was beautiful, man. I want to meet this guy. Cuckoo, how are you?
Good, thank you,
Good
Sway.
to
How are
meet
you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Happy to be in South Africa.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Seas made me. Nah,
So you're here for a concert,
Yes.
which is happening tonight and tomorrow, right? But more than that, I suppose you are, and forgive me for using the term like Godfather of Hip Hop, but like if anybody hasn't got the Sway blessing, it's really not the one, you know? And it doesn't matter if it's old school, new school, the legendary Kanye interview, of course, House Sway, you know all about that.
I ain't got the answers.
Yeah. And for me, the most important thing is how people then use hip hop as a tool to fight. So you look at Public Enemy. For me, I guess the album that sticks out is Dead Prez, Let's Get Free. Because I was so young when I was listening to it, though, I didn't realize how important it was to the culture. When I look back and the kind of knowledge you're dropping, just speak to us about that and how hip hop can be that tool.
I think in the States, for us, I grew up in Oakland, California, which is the home of the Black Panthers and the East Bay Dragons. And for us, hip hop was a voice for the disenfranchised people who didn't have any representation on radio or TV. And we created our own subculture in order for our voices to be heard. And so if you had issues that were going on in your city, in your community, nationally, or otherwise, you spoke about it through the music, you spoke about it through the dance, you spoke about it, especially with the graph writing that we would put on the trains and the walls. So Public Enemy, Dead Prez, KRS-One, if you fast forward, T.I., Bun B, Killer Mike, you know, all of these guys are speaking in the tradition of which hip hop was created. It was an outcry for people to be heard. So it doesn't surprise me. I was on the phone with Vic Minister today, and we were talking about the fact that I'm here in Johannesburg, and he was asking me a lot of questions. He hasn't been here yet, and I told him, you need to come out here. You're gonna find a lot of parallels. Hip hop has bridged a lot of gaps culturally. Even having like artists come up on our show, Sway in the Morning with Questa, Nasty C, and Stogie T, and all these guys that have come by, we've learned so much that we have so many similarities, and that's, you know, a lot of people I know learned how to speak English through hip hop. You know, when I had Questa on, I was trying to speak his language through hip hop, you know, so it's always been a tool for us to communicate in ways where we didn't have tools to do so otherwise.
And now it's the biggest genre in the world.
Biggest.
Bigger than rock.
Yes.
Do you think that speaks to, you know, this idea of it being a tool? So now more than ever, this tool is more useful than it's ever been.
Absolutely. It's been the biggest genre for longer than people are willing to admit. You know, I've traveled the world, Cuckoo, based on what I've been able to accomplish in hip hop. And I've been to the Netherlands, I've been to Germany, I've been to Japan. And it's the most useful tool, even more so than religion, politics, any other type of way people communicate through hip hop. People have been able to come together and understand each other. You know, my daughter actually came out to Africa. She actually went to Ghana and spoke on some youth panels, and she couldn't believe some of the information she was getting from people from other places. They talked about the days of slavery in the Netherlands, and you know, and they described it as the golden era. And she didn't understand, well, why would you describe that as the golden era when people were in involuntary servitude? And they looked at it as, well, this was the most profitable time economically in our region. So for us, our perspective was it was the golden era. After speaking to my daughter, this person that she spoke to ended up in tears, not understanding she didn't have the full perspective. Hip hop has helped a lot of people understand what other people's struggles are. It's helped to create a lot of empathy for other people, you know, and so it's a tool of entertainment, it's a tool of expression, it's a tool of art, and it's a tool of understanding. That's how I've chosen to use it, and that's kind of why I'm here today. you know, and even being on you guys' show. This is kind of cool.
And now, speaking about why you're here today, you're actually here because of Coastal Light Unlocks,
Yes.
right? It's a long tradition, 7 years going. I think this is the 8th. Tell us about your role and what's happening tonight and tomorrow.
Man, I'm really excited. This is my first time doing it with Castle Light, and we've tried to make it happen a few other times, but we've been really busy with Sway in the morning and stuff. I'm still at MTV. C's, come back, bro. Today we're going to do our first Cypher, so it's called the Sway Code Cyphers, and we have 6 MCs and 2 rounds of 3 that are going to come up and do 16 bars of rap, and then we'll speak to the crowd and kind of put that aspect of the culture in the forefront, the basic fundamentals of hip hop, and I'm looking forward to it. A lot of our ciphers have gone viral on a global level, and to be here and do what we do in New York or do what we do in Cali and in the States, it's a real treat. So I'm looking forward to that. Meek Mill is here. He's somebody who's actually came through our show and did ciphers before, busted freestyles, and for us, that freestyle, that's your signature. That's the way you make your mark on the culture. That's how you separate yourself from anyone else. That's where the radical differentiation comes from, is what you say and what you do and how you perform in that freestyle. That's just how we express ourselves. And to see that's happening today and I get to curate it, I'm just the curator. I'm not the person that's gonna be spitting the bars, but we have this thing called hyenas. If you're nice with yours, then you're considered a hyena, and we'll see who's the hyena today. I think A. Reese is doing it.
Yeah.
Moosley is doing it. The Big Hash is doing it. Who else is doing it? Jay Molly. It's a few people that are going to be doing it that I don't know, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the crowd reacts.
Well, thank you very much for joining you, man.
That's it, man. I got to go.
That's
Okay.
pretty much it. Doobie's actually standing by the sport. We wouldn't let you go, but
Okay.
we're going to let you go because of that.
Well, thank
But
you for
yeah, it's
having
all
me.
good.
Appreciate your audience. You can follow me at Real Sway.
Thank you very much
Okay.
for coming through. And so here's the deal. Get out there. The tickets are already sold out. So if you don't have the tickets, well, we're sorry. But hopefully, if you do have tickets, we'll see you there tonight. Coastal Light Unlocks tonight and tomorrow.